Just Stop Oil. Would you just stop vandalising? I've had enough, and the British people have had enough as well. You're not doing yourself any favours at this point. Just Stop Oil, they've gone at it again, and this week have done another 2 crazy stunts. So they have, firstly, on Wednesday morning, decided to spray orange paint all over Wellington Arch, just up the road from Buckingham Palace. A Grade 1 listed 200-year-old beautiful monument, ruined, vandalised, just in the name of the climate. And then yesterday, what did? They go to the Natural History Museum and throw orange powder all over a big giant dinosaur replica. And these are just 2 of many, many more crazy stunts by Just Stop Oil, which just annoy the British public and don't make them any more compelled to be pro-environment. And I don't think I need to list them all out for you because you have seen it yourselves all over the news over the past year or so. Why do Just Stop Oil keep on doing this? I don't understand. They seem to have their eyes and ears completely closed to the effect of their actions. If their aim is to make the British people feel more sympathetic to the climate cause, feel more inclined to give up their petrol cars, for example, they're not doing that at all. They're just putting people off the climate cause, making people more inclined to keep their petrol cars, if anything. The British people feel no sympathy for Just Stop Oil protesters at all at this point. People are just angry. How dare you sit in the road and stop ambulances coming through who are trying to get innocent people to hospital to save their lives? How dare they? That's how the British people feel. They feel angry. And when you go and destroy beautiful old monuments and buildings with incredible history, you're going to make people angry. What else do you expect? They've gone after Wellington Arch, which is just up the road from Buckingham Palace. I really would not be surprised if Just Stop Oil's next protest is to go down and try and spray Buckingham Palace in orange paint. How do you think that will make the British people feel? Just Stop Oil recently went and sprayed orange paint all over the Radcliffe Camera in Oxford, which is, its most famous library, arguably its most famous building. A beautiful work of art with lots of history. They just completely vandalised it. It is disgusting, and the British people feel it's disgusting. All it does is make the green movement look like lunacy, okay? It used to be the case that being pro-environment was a completely acceptable, very intelligent point of view to have. And now all they are doing is associating the pro-environment view with lunacy. It's completely putting people off their cause. They are counterproductive at this point, but they don't seem to care. Now, I'm very happy to see that the police are actually starting to do something about this disruptive behaviour. Surely there have to be some limits to how much disruption and vandalism these Just Stop Oil crazy protesters are allowed to cause, because in the past I've been baffled by how the police will just stand by whilst emergency services are trying to get through, whilst ordinary working people are trying to get to work. We've seen videos of a mother trying to get her baby to the hospital, not allowed to come through. Police do absolutely nothing, and the members of the public have to step in. Looks like the tide is starting to change. The police are starting to do something. At the Natural History Museum, there were 2 people arrested. And also this week in the news, we have found out that Just Stop Oil protesters who disrupted an Ashes test match are now going to have to serve 12-month community orders and have been ordered to pay costs, which is absolutely brilliant. So we are making progress, but I'm not sure Just Stop Oil are going to get the message anytime soon that people do not like what they are doing. Now, I am pro-climate, and yes, I would like to see people lobbying the government for better environmental policies for sure, but the way that Just Stop Oil are going about it is just wrong. Jacob Rees-Mogg the other day on GB News suggested to a Just Stop Oil protester that maybe a better course of action would be to stand for election.
If you believe in what you're saying, why don't you put your names forward for election rather than disturbing people's pleasure pointlessly?
So, to be honest, your misinformation is betraying your own children. I actually feel really sorry for your own children.
That's very kind of you, but I'm asking you, why don't you stand for election?
She was completely unwilling to change her point of view and open her eyes to the reality that Just Stop Oil's actions at present are not doing them any favours. It would also be a better course of action for Just Stop Oil if they were less extreme in their point of view. I've seen Just Stop Oil protesters being questioned on, how do you think we're going to pay for this? How do you think ordinary people are supposed to all be able to afford an electric car at the drop of a hat? And they just sit there, stumped. And then they wonder why people think that they're loons. It is time for Just Stop Oil to just stop vandalising.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.